Hi, I'm Jodie Hartstone. We're here today at Southern Trailers in Hautapu, Cambridge, to show you this Fautras 4-horse float. This is the oblique model, so it differs quite a bit from the victorious model that you might have seen in some of my other videos. So this is a beautiful 4-horse float. They're made in France, fully European designed and European parts. One of the first things I really like about it is the style of it. It's a very beautifully balanced float, not too long out the front, sits on the road very, very well, and is kind of half European, half American in its styling, and I really like that. It's a very, very stylish float. You'll see on the top there's a roof rack, which is quite American style, and the ladder to get up the top. That's for your hay bales and anything you might be taking with you that can be stored up on the roof there. And I'm just going to talk you through some of the features that make this float really unique. All of the Fautras floats come with this barn door setup here rather than a ramp, and I'm actually really enjoying having a barn door system. I love the way the doors just swing back and lock into place there for you, so they're very easy. They'll stay open even if you're on a lean, and when you go to close them, you simply use the kick bolt there to shut the door. So that's quite a good safety feature there. And yeah, the horses seem to load very, very well into this compared to having a ramp there where they could get crooked on the ramp and the sound of the ramp puts them off. We'll often just teach the horse to step up onto maybe a loading bank first to get them used to that whole stepping up scenario. But we've really had no problem at all with them being able to load in like this with the barn door system. One of the awesome features of these Fautras floats is that they're a front unload. So all of the issues you have in an angle load of having to turn the horses round or back them off just simply doesn't happen with these floats. So I'll just show you the front ramp system here. It's really good. The horses enjoy traveling forward facing like this and then simply walking off the front afterwards. So like I say, no need to turn the horse around. Big horses have got lots of space, and you can actually just train the young horses to walk on at the back and walk straight out the front. So really, really handy. And another awesome feature I particularly love is this summer opening here. So when you're at an event or maybe at a truck stop, you can stop, climb up on here, check the horses, feed the horses, give them water, and there's no need to be ducking in under the petitions or anything to feed them and make sure they're well watered. So you see that a lot in America at the truck stops. All their big trailers have this, and yeah, it's a very, very cool feature. In terms of storage for your gear, this float's got a nice handy pull-out for saddle rack here, which is easy to take in and out as well if you don't want to be using that. I know in my 3-horse I've taken that saddle rack out completely. I just don't need it there. But when you come around the front, there is still another tack locker here, which again has provision for 4 saddles and some pretty clever use of space here with kind of this other locker here that you can fit more gear in, little wardrobe mirror there for your jackets and getting ready for shows. So that's a handy little storage compartment, and again, yeah, lots of storage for this 4-horse setup. You might wonder what this here is. It's actually a grazing bar. So when you've got horses tied up here to the float, you can put that out and lock it into place, and then the horses are tied up over the top of it. So it stops the horses pawing and damaging the side of the trailer. So quite a neat little feature there to keep the horses off the side of the trailer. So in terms of how the setup works for this with loading, to prepare the float, this goes back there, locks into place. The petitions here fold back, ready for the horses. And when I first saw these floats, the thing I loved the very best was these high petitions. I've travelled horses all around the world, and one thing that scares me the most is horses being able to climb out over petitions, climb on chest bins, do pretty much anything they can to injure themselves while you're travelling. And with these high petitions that actually move with the horse a little bit. It's very soothing for the horse, and there really is no way that they can damage themselves in here. So that, for me, when I'm driving, knowing that the horses are safe, whether they're mares, foals, yearlings, or even the big stallions we're traveling, it is really comforting to know that there really is nothing there that they can climb out over or injure themselves on. Some feature of this oblique model of float is this spongy floor. Now you may not really be able to see it on the video, but it is like walking on air. So it's got this layer of sponge there underneath the floor. It's very, very hard wearing. It's the same that they use on stable floors if your horse is lucky enough to have an air cushioned sort of stable. Mine aren't, but this is a wonderful, wonderful feeling to be walking on this floor and knowing that the shock of the road is being absorbed. The actual floor itself underneath is made of very thick plastic. It's 400 years to degrade in salt water. Like, it's very, very, very strong, but very light and flexible, so you have no trouble ever with the floor rotting or anything like that. There's no wooden components there to rot away. So nice shock absorbing floor, and really you could sleep on this floor. It is so incredibly comfortable, and that was the very first thing when I walked in here, that I just felt that beautiful sponginess, and I think that really helps just keep the horses comfortable and keep them calm on long journeys. Petitions are fully adjustable, and they're very easy to take in and out. They fold back beautifully, and if I want to get rid of one of the petitions, it really is that simple. So if I'm taking a very big horse, I can either shift the petitions along, which is really simple, or I can simply take one out and put it back. The way that these petitions fold in half is actually very, very useful. If I've loaded a horse up onto the trailer here, so I've put a horse in on this petition, in normal angle load floats, you've either got to try and close this petition here and you're shut in with the horse, or you've got to get back to here to close the petition on the horse. And if you've got a horse that's a little frantic, it's just learning to be in the float, or is a little bit worried, it's very, very hard. You don't want to be tying the horse up and then closing the petitions. So with this system, you load the horse on here. They're already thinking forward because they know that that is the exit. And I can simply, while I'm in with the horse, shut this against them, reach back to here and shut that petition. So there's no needing a second person or having to lock yourself in with the horse in what could potentially be a really dangerous situation. An awesome feature of these floats is the ventilation. So you've got 4 vents here in the ceiling. I just I'm a little short, so I use that to pull it up and pull it back down. So I normally travel with those up. There are windows all along the sides, which are accessed from the outside, which is actually really cool. If you've ever loaded your horses up and thought, oh bugger, I've left the windows, I need to go and open the windows. If the horses are on, it can be very difficult to access, but these are all accessed here from the outside. So you've got the vent, you've got the windows there and on the other side as well. And here at the back, you've also got masses of ventilation, so you can drive with these back doors like that as well to allow even more airflow. And just even the fact that the roof is all, the fiberglass roof is all in white, keeps the horses a lot cooler as well. So they have a really comfortable ride. I've never had horses sweated up in my trailer at all, and we've travelled some very long distances right across the North Island of New Zealand over the last year, and they've all travelled really, really beautifully. So this internal wall here can be taken out if you're ever travelling, wanting to transport furniture or anything like that. This whole wall just simply lifts out, it's on pins, and then you've got even more space there to utilise for shifting furniture or doing whatever you're doing, even camping in it. It's a really good thing that can just be moved like that. And you'll see, just how adjustable these are. So you just need to undo that bolt and you can shift these along. So if you just want to make it a little bit wider or a little bit narrower, it's simple to shift all of the petitions along, or like I showed before, just to be able to simply lift one out and just take it out for the journey. So you can really adjust for mares and foals or for very big horses. This is a 4-horse. The unladen weight on this is 1800, so it can take up to 3.5 ton tow rating. So you can take 4 smaller horses around that 400, 450 kilo mark, so good for 4 ponies or a couple of big horses and a small one. I really like that adjustability though that you've got in here, so that if I'm taking say 2 brood mares and 2 foals, there really is a heck of a lot of space in here, and you'll still be under that 3.5 ton rating for the trailer. So obviously there aren't really any 4-horse trailers around in New Zealand that will take 4 horses and be under that, like 4 large horses and be under 3.5 ton. You just simply cannot build a trailer that light. But these French trailers are designed to be very, very strong but lightweight, and like I say, you can take 4 small horses or definitely 4 ponies in here, or a combination of both. But even if you've only got 3, it just gives you so much more room, so much more adjustability, and particularly, like I said, with mares and foals, it's a really, really good option for transporting horses. So you can see here how absolutely inviting this looks for a horse to be coming into. It's a really nice open space. We've had really big horses in these, like 17.2, really big long hunters. They've all got a ton of headroom. You've got roll bars on the roof there for safety reasons. The horses are just find it so inviting. I just train them to walk up and walk out the front ramp a few times before we close up the petitions, and they all just seem to stand in there and travel very, very well.